Shock news this morning, but you seem relatively positive about the whole thing.
Yeah, look, I went out for dinner with Ned Coaten, the chair of Basketball Australia, on Sunday night after we'd won the championship. We've been pretty close for a few decades now when he was CEO of the Wildcats, and he assures me that Tassie will be fine. Reality is 70% of the teams are made up of Victorian clubs right now anyway. So I think the new pathway or the new direction, everything evolves for a reason. We can't stay the same competition forever. I'm actually excited about the pointy end of the season where they're looking to revamp the national championships, where all the teams from different leagues come together and sees who really is the best team outside the NBL.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't it now mean the Chargers, the Tawns and the Thunder don't have anywhere to play next year?
No, it is wrong. Right now we would be part of the Victorian League in our view. Obviously that's something that's been discussed. I think probably the people that will impact on is the Mount Gambier's of the world, or Canberra, AIS or COE, and Albury going into their own states and playing in their state leagues. Obviously Tassie isn't big enough to have its own state league, so our view is that we would end up and hopefully join the Victorian League.
So is SEABL still continuing for 2019, or is it gone as of now?
No, I think those discussions are still happening. I know they've planned for 2019, talking to Ned, but the conversations I've had with him are really exciting. I think it's a great direction for the league, and to be honest, as I said, most clubs are out of Victoria right now. It's not huge changes, it's just revamping the system.
So the loss of those non-Victorian clubs, do you think that would make the competition stronger or weaker?
I think it'd be stronger if you look at some sort of Super Vic Tas League, and probably invite, if Mount Gambier came in because they can't get into the South Australian League. That'll be determined soon, but from my conversations it'll be a stronger league, and in particular what excites me is the pointy end of the season will be given more value as far as a national competition. It's something that we've always wanted as players and coaches. They took it away a few years ago, and it's certainly something that we've always said should come back.
I guess the big change would be that Basketball Australia is no longer running the league and sanctioning the Premier Winter League, as you call it. What does that mean for this competition?
Oh, they'll sanction the league. I think the direction of Basketball Australia is more to get out of running leagues and let the states do that, which isn't a bad idea. I think to be able to give yourself full control of your own leagues, but Basketball Australia have never said they won't sanction it. If it goes rogue, obviously they won't sanction it, but I think it's a direction with the state bodies and Basketball Australia, so I'm upbeat about it. I think it's going to be fantastic for where we're headed as a club and an organisation.
Has it been a long time?
Sorry?
Who would fund the league if it wasn't at Basketball Australia?
Oh, look, the clubs would fund their own league. I mean, we've all got invoices every month that we have to meet. Basketball Australia have never funded this league, so to speak. So it's whether the SEABL clubs wanted to go out on their own, but I don't see that as a good way of going about it. I think, as I said, if the state leagues get their own clubs around them and make it a better product, I think it's a no-brainer. It just evolves like everything.
Do you think the SEABL's deteriorated over time, or is it something that's caught you off guard?
No, I think the SEABL's never been stronger. I think some of the lower clubs, like the Canberras, that 0-20 this year, they really haven't made playoffs for several years. Those sort of clubs have fallen off a little bit, haven't been able to revamp themselves, but right now the SEABL has never been stronger than what it is. And again, the majority of clubs, 70%, are out of Victoria anyway, so we're talking 2 or 3 teams changing the direction. That's all it is.
Why is it being scrapped then, mate?
I think it's evolving. They're trying to restructure their business plans as Basketball Australia, and I have full faith in knowing Ned and his direction, his passion for the game. I have no doubt that this will be a better direction once the dust settles.
Could there be NBL involvement at all? An NBL reserves competition or something like that?
Well, it's really, let's be honest, the Victorian teams, along with Tasmania, probably is, it is the premier competition outside the NBL. So with this restructure, I would only see that getting stronger. Obviously, Mount Gambier have done really well over the years. it'd be disappointing to see them leave. But I think we've all just got to wait and see how it eventuates. But the conversations I've had is upbeat, and I think the one area they've always had to fix is the pointy end of the season. That's where we've all been let down, and they're looking to do that.
You talk about that national championship. How do you envisage that working?
Well, there's been conversation on the top 2 or top 4 from each of the leagues meet at the end of the year like they used to. I remember back in 2008 when we won the championship with the Chargers, we ended up losing the national championships against Rockhampton, I think, by 2 points, and that was a great opportunity for all our players and to get recognised on the national stage, and I think that's really important. I think, as I said, I'm really upbeat about this one.
Does it discredit the premiership we've just won?
No, it probably adds value to it, as being the last championship team in the SEABL competition would something we can take pride in, and it now gives us something more to go and chase another one in a competition next year. So it's I mean, you look at the top 4 teams this year, it was us, Geelong, Ballarat and Nuttawading. Well, none of those teams are going anywhere. So, and then you've got your Bendigos, Ballarats, Frankston, Sandringham. It's all based out of Victoria as it is, so I'm not really sure where the negativities come from. We're not changing the world, it's just a restructure of a great business.
If you were to join that Victorian League, how would the structure still work? Teams still come down here and play at the deck? They still play at Elfin?
Yeah, as I said, it's 2 or 3 teams we're talking about. It'd probably be a better concept because right now you've got 16 teams and it's really different. You can't play everyone twice. It's some of the teams like Canberra are probably not up to the standard of the SEABL at the moment. So a few of those teams will drop off, but it'll make the competition stronger.
So in terms of planning for next year, what's sort of the process here for you?
Oh, we're going full steam ahead. We're already looking to announce a couple of players in the near future that want to return, and also have our eyes on some players that have played in other teams this year. So we've been negotiating for a few months now. So we want to make sure that this club continues to get bigger.
Has anyone indicated to you, like Craig Moller or Trey Nichols, anyone that won't be back next year or will be back? Or?
I think Craig's probably the only question mark at this stage. Matthew Young wants to come back, Trey wants to come back, the majority of the team want to return. It's probably Craig is the only missing piece. He's looking to probably travelling around Europe for a little bit after he's gone back-to-back seasons now for a while, so probably time for his body to have a break, but he would be, if he plays SEABL or the new competition, it would be with us, I would say.